He was 22 years old when he collected a 16-year-old. You don't think that's intentional?
Yeah.
I don't know for anybody that could reveal that information. I stay.
There are better models. Hey, I'm Mel and welcome to OP Said Podcast, your go-to for the craziest and most varied Reddit stories out there.
And I'm May, and today we're diving into some wild stories, as usual.
I'm Marie. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's get to it. The first story is from Relationship Advice. I, 22 female, want to move out because I feel like my boyfriend's 28 male mother. My boyfriend is lazy and never cleans. I'm exhausted and considering moving out. I'll start by saying that I'm not a super tidy person. I often have a bit of mess, but overall I keep things clean. My boyfriend and I are both students, close to finishing our degrees. We've been together for 6 years and have lived together for nearly 3. Before moving in, we'd often spend a few days at each other's places, and things seemed fine. Because of our financial situation as students, we decided to move in together. Looking back, I should have paid more attention to his low standards. He used to change his sheets maybe once every 6 months and regularly had piles of dirty dishes. At first, he made an effort to clean, probably to impress me, but once he got comfortable, he left everything for me to handle. It got so bad that one of his friends would wear 2 pairs of socks at our place, just so he could take one pair off when he got home. Currently, I study and work part-time with a long commute 2 days a week, almost 4 hours total, so I'm usually really tired. He, on the other hand, is home at least 4 days a week and still doesn't lift a finger. I've voiced my frustrations several times over the past couple of months and even before, but he always brushes it off. Lately, I'm beyond exhausted. I clean for hours, and by the end of the day, it looks like I never did anything. I've tried talking to him, creating a cleaning schedule and explaining how I feel, but nothing works. I'm honestly considering getting my own apartment. That way we can both live how we want to, without constant arguments over chores. But I'm afraid that moving out might harm the relationship, and I don't want that. Aside from his incompetence with household tasks and his annoying habit of always needing to be right, he's a great boyfriend and friend. Still, I keep doing everything. Even when I ask him to do small tasks, he forgets or comes up with excuses, usually that he's studying or too busy. Somehow, his time always seems more valuable than mine. I used to hope that once he started working, he'll change. But I honestly don't think he will. His mother did everything for him, and he even calls me mum sometimes because I do everything except cook. This morning, we had a serious argument about all the things he doesn't do and how he needs to start acting like an adult. Now he's giving me the silent treatment. He even broke a plate earlier by stacking it carelessly on top of his things. I asked him to clean it up so no one would step on the pieces, but it's still sitting there tonight. I once tried not doing all the chores to see if he would step up, but the place got so disgusting I couldn't live in it. That's why I'm thinking moving out could be good. Maybe some space would help us appreciate each other more. And at least I wouldn't have to live in a mess. I'm just worried he'll take it the wrong way and freak out, especially since he relies on me financially. I can afford a second apartment and could even pay double rent for a while, but after that, it would be up to him. I know some might say the logical thing to do is leave this all behind, but I genuinely love him and we share a deep connection. Moving out feels like a step backwards, but the more I think about it, the more I believe it might restore peace and clarity. Could moving out be the right move? I'm open to suggestions.
I don't think that you belong in this relationship. It's only going to get worse, in the famous words of Melinda. And also, if you introduce children into this, you are going to have double the job, double the dirt. And I'm telling you now, I have 2 kids, and in the morning, it starts off clean. By the evening, it looks like chaos. They can't help it. I would die if that was my husband. So please, This is not a foundation for a good relationship, for a long-term relationship. You are going to get tired. You are going to grow resentful, and it is not going to be good going forward. I don't care what connection you have. You need to leave.
Do you know what? I was just laughing because I was just thinking about what Marie says in every single episode, where it's like you talk about like all these awful things about this person, and then say, "But I love him."
We have a great connection.
Literally.
You know how I rolled my eyes so hard when I heard that?
He's my best friend.
But he's such a great person. And it's just like, it sends me every time because you've basically told us all the reasons why you don't need to be in a relationship with that person. But also, look, the reason why this relationship has no legs, right, is because you said he's a slob. But he's not only a slob, he's a slob where nothing changes.
Yep.
And there's never going to be any improvement. And so even you have friends creating solutions to these problems. And then on top of it, you said he has this thing where he needs to be right.
Yeah.
That is a stubborn personality. So you saying...
Very challenging.
Thank you. You saying that, you know, like he has a cleanliness and a hygiene problem, by the way. So this is even bigger. So he has a big problem, but he has this thing where he needs to be right. Means that any conversation with him, he might even, which... I'd be surprised if he actually agrees with you and says, yes, I'm going to change. He'll likely be stubborn, double down, doesn't make any changes, and in fact creates more work for you. But you think the solution is to move out and pay double rent.
Oh, that was crazy.
It's only going to get worse. Like literally, as Marie said, as Melinda always quotes, it will get worse. But also, forget that. Do you know the amount of stress that you're going to experience the longer that you're with this man? You're going to be so stressed out by being a mum to him because you even said he basically has like childish behavior. So you're going to be a mum, you're going to be a cleaner, you're going to be a cook, and then you're going to do it all over again with the kids. And I don't know how many kids there are. Kids come in their very many different forms, very different individuals. You're going to be run ragged. This is not good. Exit the relationship as soon as you can.
Everything the girl said, but on top of it, he's 28. He's not changing. This is him. You have to decide whether you can accept it or not. It sounds like a bad situation. Like, you even said his friend wears double socks because of how dirty it is. Also, you've tried it and you tried to see how long you could go without cleaning up, and it was disgusting. Sis, this is him. You have to accept it. Like, accept it. If you can continue. However, you are 22. Move on. I'll tell you right now, for nothing, I've dated 28-year-olds. I've dated older. There are better models. There are better models, sis. The ones that your boyfriend? No. There are guys that actually do it all. Like, can be good partners and actually are clean. So please don't let all of that, he's your friend and you've been in it for so long, fool you. Like, there are guys, you can have it. You can have the cleanliness as well. Yeah, he's not changing. So either decide to stay in it or not. But I would suggest walking away. You've tried it. You've tried it for a few years now. This is him. It doesn't get any better. And also, you said his mother does everything for him.
I was going to say that.
You said his mother does everything for him. And also, you are actually the one that's in control of and better off financially. Sis, that man is using you for domestic labour, financially. He stands to win and gain everything. Please leave and you will feel so free. And that man is a chain and weight on your neck right now, and you don't even realise it. You don't even realise you're not even breathing properly right now because you're so used to this, but this isn't normal.
And the reason that your little trial separation of living in two different apartments is not going to work because his model is his mum. And his mum doing everything for him has actually set the standard as to how all of his relationships should work, whereby domestic duties don't fall under the man's remit.
Yep.
It sits under the woman's. So you actually know what the future looks like. You only need to look at his mum. And that's his level of expectation on you. But also, I want to just say, like, something that came to me as soon as, like, I'm listening to all of this. I'm thinking, girl, I think somebody needs to tell you that a relationship shouldn't be this difficult.
At all.
22, a relationship doesn't need to be this hard. You are having real issues with this man. Like, your home life is a battle. That's what it sounded like. It sounded like the one place where you should seek solace is a nightmare.
Peace, clarity. You asked for peace and clarity, whether moving out would do that. But honestly, walking away would.
All I've got to say is I'm also side glancing you because you said that he can keep bed sheets for 6 months.
Yeah.
I don't know for anybody that could reveal that information. I stay. That is already too much for me. And that's all I've got to say on that.
And also, I do think that he, I know everyone's going to say SVU again, May, but yes, okay, listen. Listen. He was 22 years old when he collected a 16-year-old. You don't think that's intentional? You don't think that he sought somebody where he could mold them, and you've been living together since you were 19.
That's true, you know.
You were 19.
Been together for 6 years.
Meanwhile, he was 25. I don't know. It just sounds like he's very intentional about what he's doing, and he has no plans of changing, and why should he?
22 and 16.
And you financially support him. You clean up after him.
Impressionable.
You were impressionable when he met you, but this is a bad deal for you and a great deal for him.
Yeah, because you bring in the money, you bring in the cleanliness. I just want to say it out loud again, 6 months bed sheets. This is a lot. No, guys, 6 months. You know, there was a quote that said that British people change their towels twice a year. I nearly fell over.
That's scary.
And now you're telling me that somebody is using 6 months bed sheets.
No.
I accidentally left mine on for 2 weeks one time. I was so horrified with myself. And you're telling me that 6 months exists. Please, exit stage left. I'm so sorry that that's all I'm concentrating on, but that already is the reddest flag, apart from the fact that you were a 16-year-old and he was 22. Please get out. And I don't have anything else to add.
Do you know what? Cleanliness is something I don't budge on. Honestly, I don't know how you're doing it because I'm really big. Like, towels get washed, towels get changed every 3 days, bed sheets every 7 days. I am really big on that kind of stuff. I can't. And
I'll freak out.
Yeah, like the way I was raised, my mum was strict. Every Saturday without fail, clean the house, girls, from top to bottom. Like, make sure your, what are they called? The sideboards are clean. Like, it was... Skirting boards. It was... I can't. Cleanliness, if I go to people's home, I am judging them. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Me can't. But anyway, we've got a top comment. You should strongly consider moving out. If you're acting like his mum now, imagine how exhausted you'll be if you marry him and become an actual mother. If he's not helping you now, when there are no kids, he won't start helping when they come along. Save yourself from future resentment and leave him altogether. Nobody suddenly changes and becomes a clean person at 28. Drama aside, for those of you that watch the channel and haven't yet subscribed, please do. It helps us so much more than you know. We're also on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at OP Said Podcast. And if you have your own submissions, please DM, voice note, email us. We want to hear from you. Okay, so my story comes from True Off My Chest. I know it's a fact of life, but heartbreak sucks. I literally don't understand how two people can say they love each other and not want to work things out when they're both still alive. I've loved once before. It was amazing, uplifting, magical. After 13 years together, he died. So this is all new to me. It took a lot for me to open myself up again. Having the person you love most in the world die in your arms is a kind of pain I can't put into words. I was so excited to feel something for someone again, something I never thought I'd feel. But I feel deceived. Something changed after a couple of months. In the end, technically, I was the one who left. But it didn't come out of nowhere. I tried to talk things through so many times. It's really hard to be in a relationship that slowly erodes your self-confidence. How can someone look you in the eye, say they love you, and still seem so indifferent? Leaving felt like an act of self-preservation. And yet, I still love him. After thinking I'd never be able to love again, I still love him.
I know this is a part of the human experience, a fact of life, but heartbreak really sucks. I just want my heart to stop breaking in new ways. It literally feels like my chest is caving in on itself. I miss home. If he were still here, I wouldn't have to go through this. I wouldn't be left wondering why I wasn't enough.
I can't imagine what it's like to lose somebody that you've loved.
What, you've never experienced heartache?
I've not experienced grief, death.
No, but she's actually talking about the person that she was in a relationship with now. Not the grief.
No,
It's
but she's at the end there. She just said if she was still with the person that died, she wouldn't be experiencing this heartache.
Yeah, because she's in a relationship with another person.
Yeah, but
Yeah, she said she opened herself up and something changed after a couple of months. And in the
welcome
end, she's
to
the one.
dating, boy.
She's the one that left.
Yeah, welcome to dating. It's a roller coaster of up and downs. I dated for 7 years and got my heart broken over and over again. It's rubbish. It's rubbish outside. But you do have to get back on the horse and get over it and start again. It's hellish. I'm not going to lie. Being in relationships when you haven't found the one is hellish. People lie. People say things that they don't mean. People say things they think you want to hear. And it's so frustrating. I found the dating experience really, really frustrating because I was like, if you're going to do something, if you're going to say something, can you do it? Follow through.
Yeah.
If you say you're going to be this person, can you just be this person? I found it really confusing that people didn't mean what they said. It was a circus for me anyway. So, yeah, I get how you feel, I guess, but yeah.
No, I feel incredibly sorry for OP. Heartbreak, heartache, it's crushing, it's all consuming, it's horrid, but the only way through it is through it.
Yeah.
Literally, you have to feel it. Don't distract yourself with other people. Just go through it, cry, laugh, date, whatever it may be to get yourself through to the other end. Dating right now is really awful. Like, everybody seems so self-centered and nobody means what they say, back to Marie's point. However, I guess the only way to see whether someone's true or not is to listen and watch their actions over their words. But unfortunately, dating is one of those things you just have to continuously try until you meet your person.
Yeah.
But take the time out and heal, literally. But it's tough out there. It is really, really, really tough out there. So, yeah, be strong with your boundaries. If you don't like something, walk away. If you don't like what you're seeing, walk away.
Yeah, heartbreak really is like just part and parcel of living. And I feel really bad for you, OP. And the only way to get through is just time.
Yeah. Mine is from Am I the Arsehole? Am I the arsehole for asking my boyfriend to rate me on a scale of 1 to 10 and then getting upset when I didn't like his answer?
Yes.
Yeah, you are.
Yes. Don't play silly games.
How immature.
I, 31 female, asked my boyfriend, 27 male, of 3 months to be honest with
Not
me.
reaching 27.
No, because I need to.
She wants to emphasize their ages.
I, 31 female, and my boyfriend, 27 male, of 3 months to be honest with me last night. This all started when I was chatting with ChatGPT,
Oh, gosh.
not the AI. It gave me a nice response after I asked it to rate some of my pictures, obviously biased, but still flattering. That led me to ask my boyfriend the same question over the phone. I honestly wasn't expecting to be too surprised either way. We're in a loving relationship and he tells me how beautiful I am every day. I've never had any reason to think he doesn't find me attractive. So when he said I was a 7, I felt hurt and confused.
Gosh.
I know I'm probably not a 9 or a 10. Honestly,
So she's
I
looking
would.
for one specific number.
exactly.
It's the 8. She's looking for the 8.
It's not a 7, so ding, 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 ding. Must be the 8.
I would even accept a 7 as fairly accurate, just not from my boyfriend, who claims to love my body and adore me. I couldn't help but tell him how hurt I was. That turned into a bit of an argument, but he didn't back down from the 7 rating and said, it's just how I feel. You're not a model or anything. He did try to reassure me that he still thinks I'm beautiful, But I can't stop thinking about that number 7. It's now stuck in my mind and it feels like a stain. I feel misled by what I now see as love bombing. It got even worse when I asked what he would rate his ex. Keep in mind, in the past, he had told me he found me more attractive than her. So to my horror, he also said she was a 7. I was beyond devastated. I felt betrayed, like I've been lied to. He tried to explain that looks aren't that important to him and that he loves my the worst thing to say, and that he loves my personality more. While I do value that, it honestly made me feel worse. How can he claim to be obsessed with me these past few months and yet think I'm barely a 7, the same rating as his ex? I've seen her pictures. Just to put things into perspective, she's flat-chested, has no curves, and a fairly plain face. I know that might sound harsh, but I'm not trying to be cruel, but I'm trying to express how confused I feel, especially since he's made similar remarks about her before. I honestly don't think I can get over this. I love him and I know he loves me too. He's very affectionate and caring, but this feels like a rotting apple in an otherwise beautiful garden. I don't know how to be with someone who doesn't think I'm stunning because that's how I see him. I asked him if he considered the girls he used to follow on social media to be 8s or higher, and he said yes. So how do I continue in a relationship knowing he doesn't see me the way I see him?
Play silly games.
Win silly prizes. Wow.
Girl.
He doubled down.
No, but you know what? This story is so layered for me because there's there's the age difference and yet you're the one acting immaturely. There is the fact that you even asked this question because do you know what? People are attracted to people for different reasons. So just because he calls you a 7 might be low based on your standards, but a 7 might be high based on his.
Yeah.
Do you remember Kevin Samuel? He always used to say you can't say 7.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of like the go-to everybody picks.
Yeah.
So it's like everybody's different. His attraction to women generally might be personality. Like it's not always looks. Some people is and some people isn't. So you need to accept that. And then this comparison thing that you have going on with him and his ex, with yourself versus his ex, stop that. Like I think people really need to understand that every past relationship or situationship someone had before or what comes after as well when you guys end, they're attracted to said person for different reasons. Like whenever somebody finds out that somebody cheated on them, they then want to investigate and find out what this person looks like. I promise it has not, it's like the looks isn't necessarily the draw. It could be so many things. And I just think that this woman, Opie, you need to grow up. I genuinely think that that's the takeaway. Grow up.
Yeah, she sounds highly immature to me. And also vain. She literally
She
sounds
doesn't have the looks to be vain.
No, but she sounds really... Do you know how vain and like how obsessed you must be with image and appearance to use ChatGPT to rate your pictures?
Yeah, you're right.
No, guys, she sounds vain. And then you're now upset because people don't think that you're the rating that you believe yourself to be.
No, but
Grow
she believes she's
up.
a 7.
No, but she doesn't want him to say
she
that though.
thinks she's an 8.
She doesn't.
No,
want,
she
thinks she's 7.
Oh,
She
okay.
said
She
that
doesn't
7
think-
is actually correct, but
She
she
doesn't
would
want her
want
boyfriend
him to say more.
yeah, she would want him to say higher. She sounds immature and vain. Sis, focus on more important things. Like, go read a book. I don't know. Use ChatGPT to create a business or something, for flip's sake.
Also,
What
do you
the
know
hell?
what? Whenever I hear anybody that says, like, for somebody who says he's so obsessed with me, I hate that. I hate hearing anybody say, oh, I'm so obsessed with her. I'm obsessed with him. Because if anybody actually knew the actual definition of obsession, you guys wouldn't want anyone to be obsessed with you.
I don't need anyone being
You would
obsessed
want
with
them
me.
to have other interests, life goals, and other things going on. Because if somebody's all consumed with you, it's never a good
scary.
thing.
Scary.
Obsession equals stalker.
Exactly.
Right.
Who wants
And
to stalk her?
stalker equals dun, 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 dun,
Threat of life. Threat
Whether
of
it's
life.
Law and Order or Law and Order SVU, one of the chains, okay? Anyway, I don't have much to say about this, so I think she's stupid.
Very.
I agree.
I think it's a really silly thing to come and ask your partner. Clearly he found you attractive, which is why he's with you.
Exactly.
Clearly he's happy where he's at, otherwise he wouldn't stay. Don't Chat GPT shouldn't be the reason why you're having this argument. They said AI could be the beginnings of arguments, and here we are
Wow.
with this very, very silly submission into Reddit. I just don't think that anyone should ever ask questions like that to their partner.
Right.
It's a setup from the get up.
Yeah.
Like, what are you saying?
It's so ridiculous. But honestly, the
Nah.
things that stood out to me is she's vain and immature. Like, literally, this is what you spent your time doing. Do you know there was that trend about ask Chat GPT to cuss you or something, like to look at your profile and tell you some mean stuff to you? Like, I don't even believe in doing stuff like that. Why am I spending my good time doing something so stupid?
Why
I
wouldn't you
don't
just
get
ask Chat GPT to look at your profile so that it can tell you
How you
how
can
to
improve.
and give and get
Literally,
better
how can I
content,
get better engagement? Like,
but you want it to diss you. Anyway, these are just trends that we do online for fun things. I get
no,
that.
this
but
one took
I
it to her relationship.
I say no. You set yourself up there, girl. We have a top comment. You are the asshole.
Yeah.
You asked the question, he answered truthfully, and now you're mad at him for it. That's on you.
Yep.
Don't ask questions if you don't want to know the answer. You come across as very needy and controlling. Maybe it's best to break up so he can find someone who isn't so vain and self-centered.
Yeah, exactly what I said. Okay, so this dilemma is from mother-in-law from hell. Mother-in-law driving me insane. Hi, I've been married for 7 months and I'm currently 4 weeks postpartum. We've been living with my in-laws the entire time we've been married, while saving up for a place of our own. I can't complain too much since they've provided me with a place to stay, something my own parents weren't willing to do, and I'm genuinely thankful for that. However, my mother-in-law is driving me crazy. Just today, I went downstairs with my son dressed in baby clothes I'd recently bought. They were brand new and there was absolutely nothing wrong with them. As soon as she saw the outfit, she said, no, that's not safe. Without offering an explanation, she told me to sit down and insisted I hand over the baby clothes so she could dispose of them. When I was 9 days postpartum, she had a friend over, someone I had never met, and decided to introduce her to her new grandson. While both the baby and I were asleep, she came into our room with her friend to meet him. I know it's her house, but still. She sometimes criticises my parenting. She says I'm holding the baby too much, that I'm dressing him incorrectly, that I'm eating food that's not good for breastfeeding, that I misinterpret his cues, in brackets, whether he's tired, hungry, etc., and that he needs a blanket, even though it's recommended not to use one until he's at least 1 year old. I feel like I'm going insane living with her, and I don't know how much longer I can take this.
Talk to your husband. Talk to your husband and let him know about what's going on, the fact that you feel uncomfortable, you're getting unsolicited parenting advice, you feel judged, and tell him that he needs to talk to his mum about backing off. Tell your husband about the things that your mum is doing and that you feel really uncomfortable and you feel really judged as a first-time parent. Express to him just like how it's making you feel, and then just stack your money and go.
I wouldn't stack it. Go. There's nothing when you are postpartum. There's this thing called I can't remember it right now. It's called. It starts with blue. I'll put it on the screen. Basically, you mourn the pregnancy. It's like you get a little bit depressed because you're missing being pregnant. There's that. And then postpartum might start to set in. You're tired. If you have a baby that's crying all the time and doesn't sleep, just the whole routine is too much. To have someone actively questioning everything that you're doing, it's not good for your mental state. I don't care about what you're saving for. It's actually better for your mental state if you leave. Get out while you can. Get a space, even if it's a studio, even if it's whatever, so that it might take you longer to get the place that you need, but you'll have peace. And that at least is one thing that can be ticked off, because postpartum, all of that is enough to deal with. Secondly, yes, speak to your husband. But I would speak to my mother-in-law myself. I would speak to my mother-in-law first. And then if it doesn't work, then it's when the husband will go through. I would sit her down. And again, I always say, start with love and say, I really appreciate everything that you are doing, but sometimes it can make me feel like this. If she's a reasonable person, that will hit her. If she's not, then you go, husband. But it's really important that you don't hide behind your husband when you've got something to say to your mother-in-law. If I don't feel comfortable with my mother-in-law, the first person she hears it from is me. If it feels like something that is that is a bit uncomfortable, or maybe we don't have that relationship, then I'll go for my husband. But something as simple as this, and this is quite simple, is I feel a little bit uncomfortable, or you're making me feel a little bit uncomfortable with how you are dealing with me, and I didn't appreciate this. I don't have to speak to my husband about telling you that you came into the room while I'm sleeping with somebody else, with my child, and I didn't feel comfortable about that. That's wild. Like, you need to have some boundaries placed in between yourself and your mother-in-law. In my opinion, I feel like that should also let her know that you're not somebody that she can trample over. So I just think that is what needs to be done. You need to speak directly to your mother-in-law. You need to have and put some boundaries in place, but speak to her from in a loving manner. I think don't come on a defense, but actually tell her how you really feel. Make notes, whatever you need to do, and hopefully she'll understand.
We have a top comment. Move out now. It will only get worse. This sounds like me.
Did you write in?
No, I don't think I did. Your mother-in-law has no respect for you and will do whatever she wants. Continuing to stay there will only make you more agitated. Rent an apartment. It may take you longer to buy something, but your mental health and quality of life will greatly improve.
Yeah, girl.
Thanks for listening. We know this is an incredibly shorter episode, but guys, we actually ran out of time. So thank you for listening, and let us know which is your favourite story.
See you then.
Bye.
Huh?
I didn't know.
We need to look into each other's eyes, man. That's what we need. I
Oh
don't care what
my
you lot say.
God, I've got
I
two.
want to see
I've
you.
got two romantics next
Let's
to
dim
me.
the lights
Absolutely.
down.
My God.
I do it because May does the most, but I love it here.
Bro,
Dim
she
the
loves
lights.
it.